بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is traveller1, module 4, nowadays revision 4, or the roundup of revision 4. Now in module 4 you have many objectives in your book. It's page 55. This is just a reminder of what you're supposed to be learning in that module, for you to check, to be able to know if you reach that goal. Inshallah, in more details will be discussed in the next revision, but this is just for you to know what did you actually covered in module 4. Now, as I said, we can use tables or organizers. Tables can be used for the general objectives, and the organizer can be used for specific ideas. Like, for example, in our case, it's very beneficial to use it in grammar points. So you know the name of the rule and how can you change it into question or negative, or you can have, like, for example, time expression. Now, the book covered many, or this module covered many grammar rules. We're going to go through them very quickly, just as a reminder what we covered. We had like adjectives and adverbs, how you can change adjectives into adverbs, and we said that we're going to add ly. For example, you have here easy, easily, bad, badly, dangerous, dangerously, and we talked about the irregular forms. Now, in order for you to differentiate, what do I mean by adjectives? Usually they define nouns like Ahmed, okay, or Sarah, or Noura, or the school. So these are the nouns. When you describe them, you are using the adjectives. If you're describing how something happens, like I walk slowly, or he drives badly, or she listens carefully, so this is the adverb. Here you have, for example, two examples. He drives, the driving is bad, so I say badly. He is, I'm describing him, he's dangerous. Now you have irregular forms, and as we said, it's not mentioned here, but it's in your book. For example, if you have good or well, we covered that in the actual lesson. But if you want to have more details, you can go to the grammar reference in your book. Now, also we covered to and enough. When I use to, I want to use it to describe certain situation. It's before adjectives and before adverbs. For example, you say it's too big, it's too far, or too early. So with adjectives and adverbs, what does it mean if I use to? It means it has negative meaning. It means I have more than enough, more than necessary. It's too big for me. I don't need all that, for example, size, or it's too far away, or too early. The time is not good, so it's negative. If I say, for example, it's, for example, enough, when I use it with after adjective, like, for example, an adverbs, it means it has positive. I say I have enough food. So it comes before the noun, or it comes, for example, this is very important, or comes after the adjective and adverbs. Here, for example, you say warm enough. So if it's a noun, it comes before. If it's an adjective or adverb, it comes after. So warm enough, big enough, far enough, and so on. It means it has a positive meaning. It means I'm okay with that. That situation is fine. Now here you have some examples. As I said, in grammar, vocabulary, you have clues in your sentences that will help you choose the right word, or they will help you correct the between brackets and so on. Now I underlined them. If you wanted to take a paragraph or underline it in your book. If I want to put to or enough in these phrases, I have to know, am I looking for the negative part or it's the positive part? For example, I won't buy the coffee maker, okay? You won't buy it, and it's expensive for you. It's too much price for you, so it's too expensive. I don't have money with me, so I don't have enough money. Jack is to go outside, he's wet. He's too tired. He's very tired. Here, we can't go to the shopping center on foot. The shopping center isn't, and you have close. It's not close enough. It's far away. Of course, I won't lend Sam my car. He isn't I'm negating that he's careful, so he isn't careful enough. I don't like this painting. This painting is not good for me. It has a lot of color, so it's too colorful. I mean, even if I give you more examples, you have to understand the meaning, but most of the time, too is used for negative and enough is used for positive, or you're describing a situation. Now, we also covered the future will. To make promises, on-the-spot decisions or requests, you're going to use will. If I use these sentences, I will help you, I will pay you back, you will lend me, will you lend me some money, means that the first one means that I'm giving you, like I'm deciding on-the-spot decision. Second one, I will pay you back. Even when I say it, means it's a promise. And the third one, it's like a request. I'm asking you, can you lend me that money? Will you lend me that money? Now here you have time clauses. This is something that I've described before, but just as a reminder, when you have time clauses, you usually have these phrases. You have when, after, before, until, as soon as. They start the clause. Sometimes it's at the beginning, sometimes it's in the middle. If it's at the beginning, you start with it. You usually have a comma between the two clauses. You start with the present simple and then the future, or you can switch. You can start with the future, then the phrase, then the present simple. Now here you have examples. Sometimes you need to choose, if you want, for example, to use will as a promise or a request, or you're asking someone, for example, on-the-spot decision. It depends on the meaning of the sentence. Here you have as soon as, so you have present and you have the future. Here, as soon as I get home, I will call you. I will fix the washing machine before. Here you have the future. So you have before. Do you remember the clause? So here you're going to have leave, it's present. Number 3, you back, I promise. Now, as I said, if you want to make a promise, I will pay you. You, it's out of order. You won't be able to use that printer. Okay, you the money. Of course, you are going to lend him that money. These are the answers. Sometimes you have the time clause and you have, for example, the future. Sometimes it's just using the future for promise or for decision, or you're making a request. Okay, relative pronouns. I like this one because most of us use it, but you don't know exactly why it's used. Usually it's 2 sentences. We're going to go through this, inshallah, in the revision, more details. But usually it's 2 sentences and you connect them with a pronoun. One of them is called relative pronoun and the other one is the independent clause. Now this is very important. The relative clause. Now what does it mean, relative? It means it's relating the sentence, the second sentence to the first sentence. So I'm saying these are the same, for example, they're talking about the same person or the same thing. Okay, I'm going back to that by using these relative pronouns. You have who, which, and where. Now when it comes to who and which, you can use that instead. You can say who or that, which or that, but when it comes to where, you cannot use any word but where, because it's a place. Now, of course, you know that with people you use who, with things and animals and ideas you use which, and you have here an example. This is from your book as well. Now, if you read the sentence, the man who is driving that car is my uncle. Sometimes, if this is a subject or an object, we're going to go through this inshallah in the revision. It can be omitted if it's an object, not if it's a subject. So be careful with that. We're not going to go through this again, but let's just give you a hint. Now, here in your book, you have also exercises. I underlined them. They gave you, like, look at the line, the red one. They say complete the sentence with who, which, or that. This is easy for you. If it's a person, you're going to use who. If it's a thing or an idea, it's going to be which. If it's a place, you're going to use where. Now, what they asked you here, they have asked you to omit if you can. If you can omit it, you're going to use the brackets. Now, as I said, if it's a subject, so who means it's a subject. In place of the subject, you cannot omit it at all. But if it's in the place of the object, it's okay, you can omit it. I'm not going to give you any examples, but you're going to see it now. Is this the digital photo frame you bought from the internet? Now, if I ask you, what did you buy from the internet? I bought a digital. So do you think it's a subject or an object? First of all, you're going to use which. And yes, you can omit it because it's an object. So if you want to know, is it a subject or an object, you can ask yourself that question. But as I said, you need more details, inshallah, in the revision, but this is just a reminder. Now, number 2, Wensley's is a cafe. So a cafe, it's a shop. So where? And as I said, we don't have that here, just where. Number 3, is this the Hoover that doesn't work? Or which doesn't work? It's a machine. That's the waiter. It's a person who gave me the wrong change. Number 5, there are 2 lifts in the building. 2, lifts, elevators. Which, okay, my cousin is a person. You have who. An Old Trafford is a stadium. I don't know that place, but it's a place where Manchester United play. Do you remember the man? You have who. And I have between brackets. Why? Because we met on the bus. We met that man on the bus. Who did we meet? So it's an object. That's why it's okay. You can put between brackets. It means you can omit that pronoun. Okay. Moving on. World building. Now this is something that you read a lot. You know the meaning, but we're going to go to details. We have full and less. From that suffix. Suffix is a part of a word that you add at the end, not the beginning. So if I say useful, that thing is useful. You added F-U-L-L to the verb use. Okay, sometimes it's a noun, sometimes the verb. If I say it's very useful, it means it has a positive meaning. It means I can use it. Okay, beautiful, for example. Now, if I say it's useless, that thing is useless. I cannot use it. Less here, it's a negative meaning. So if you add F-U-L, full, it means that you use, for example, it's a negative or a positive. Now, expression with make. Here, you have useful. There's missing L, useful. I'm sorry for that. You have useful here, I think. Or I'm adding another L. I'm not sure. I will check that. Okay. Expression with make mistakes, make a decision, make plans, make sure, make money, make predictions, and make a phone call. Do you remember what we described before? Just a reminder, you make a mistake, it means you miscalculate. You make a decision, you decide. You make a plan, it means, I think you make a plan. It's not this one. This one, make a profit, which is number 4, make money. Make sure, it means you make sure that you confirm, you establish that something is definitely, you make money, it's number 3, you profit, but this one is make a plan. I switched, I think. Make prediction, it means you guess, and make a phone call, you call someone or you ring. I want you to be careful, number 5 and number 3, they are switched. You make a plan, you plan. You make a profit, it means you make money. Okay, don't forget that. We're going to switch them. Okay, complete the sentences with the correct form. I think you have a spelling mistake, so you make a spelling mistake. Here you have much money, you make money. And can eating these leaves you any harm? Make you harm or do you harm? Here you have do. Have you any plans? Have you made any plans this weekend? Where's your phone? I need a phone call. You make a phone call. Drinking soft drinks all day won't do you any good. My TV broke down, but I think I can. Can you? Yes, you can do without it. Who usually? The decision. Who makes the decisions. And number 9, please, sure. You have sure. So make sure. Now, we're moving to the, as I said, this is just a wrap-up for this module. It's not an actual revision. We're going to have, inshallah, more details next few weeks. When you want to write in this module, we had that paragraph when we expressed our own opinion, if you remember, about the gadgets. You can use these words. Of course, as a reminder, this is just someone, if someone asks you to write about mobiles, because it's in your book, but if someone asks you to write anything positive, your idea or your point of view about any, for example, thing in the world, a machine, a city you visited, whatever. But in your book, it's about the mobile phone. So if you want to tell someone your point of view or your ideas about this, how you feel about that machine, usually you list some of the positive aspects of using a mobile, the benefits of using telephones or mobile. Here are just some ideas. You can talk about the size, it's so handy, it's so easy, you can put it in your pocket. You can talk about the cost, that you have many prices that you can choose any price that fits your budget. You can talk about how you use that. You can have like your own laptop in your phone. That's how useful it is. You can talk about how people can be addicted, or you can give them clues not to be addicted to phones. Also, you can talk about how you can limit the annoying aspects or parts of using a phone when you have silent mode and so on. So you can talk about what do you feel before you talk about how you feel, or if you're with or against using a phone. You can talk about the positive parts or aspects of having a phone. Very important, since it's a paragraph that is describing your opinion, you have to use that phrase that I put in front of you. You have to say personally, okay? Or you can start your sentence by saying, in my opinion. You have to start that before you give your own opinion. Or you can say, I believe, and after you for example, you write all these aspects, you can say, I believe we can live with, we can, and you give me your idea or your opinion. So since it's a paragraph about opinion, you need to start with that. Of course, you can put the orders of the paragraph in many forms. Since it's a paragraph, it's not about a personal like a place, but since it's about a thing like a phone, you're going to start with, first of all, you have to start your sentence by telling me you're talking about a phone, if it's a certain phone, if it's a phone that you use, or whatever you want to start with, but you have to tell me what you're talking about. Secondly, what is more and also is used between in the second paragraph to connect all your ideas. If you're listing the positive part of a phone, these are the connectors for you to have 1 or 2 or 3, okay? Now, in addition, if you want to add lastly or finally, usually here when you have your point of view, if you want to add personally, in my opinion, I think, and so on. Now, this is the paragraph that you're supposed to write in your module 4. Now you have vocabulary. In your book, you have page 66, and we have many vocabulary. We cannot cover most of them or all of them. We're going to try to give it more time in the revision part, but even if I do that, you need to have your note. You need to have a list of your vocabulary, so you at least remember most of what you took. Here are the examples from your book. As I said, it's not my sentence. They're not my sentence. They're from your roundup. Since it's a roundup, I'm just going to cover the ones that we have until, inshallah, we do the revision. Now, the first one, you have to differentiate between lend and borrowed. If you are going to me, here you have me, £100, or last month, and I still haven't given it back. So is it lent or borrowed? Yes, lent. He lent me. Number 2, when I got to the supermarket, I realized I only had a few on me coins. He looks in that outfit. His outfit, the dress or the costume that he's wearing, it's ridiculous. Yes, this gadget doesn't work. I think the are dead. When you have something dead, the machine, the phone is dead, it means the batteries are dead. There's no charge, or it's not charged. I'm getting really tired being alone. About or off? Off, of course. The little gadget is very handy or harmful. You should buy one. If I'm advising you to buy something, do you think it's harmful? Well, unless I'm... Okay, so it's handy. This invention or prediction is going to change the world as we know it. It's an invention. Oh no, I think I've entered or deleted an important file. Usually when you have oh no and you're very worried about that, you delete it, yes. My brother spends all his free time playing a computer. Of course, most of our brothers do. It's a very annoying habit. If he spends most of his time on the computer, it means he's what? Yes, he is addicted, and we shouldn't be addicted to computers. For more details, for more activities, go to page 66. And as I said, I am going to think about how we're going to revise the vocabulary so you would benefit from our sessions in this channel. But be careful with the memorizing. It's not about memorizing, it's understanding and memorizing. Again, because it's vocabulary, you have to understand the meaning of the sentence in order for you to choose the best one. Okay? I think that's it. See you inshallah next time for our revision. Thank you.